Long before plastic tunnels, grow lights or imported produce, medieval farmers fed families through winters that locked soil like stone. Crops still grew, harvests still happened, and people survived year after year in climates that would intimidate most modern gardeners. This wasn't luck, it was strategy. And once you understand how they did it, you start to realize how much modern gardening has forgotten. What medieval farmers knew wasn't written in manuals. It was carved into habit, land, and survival itself. Cold was planned for long before it arrived. Medieval farming didn't begin in spring. It began the previous summer. Farmers treated winter as inevitable, not an interruption. Every planting decision was made with cold in mind. Crops were chosen not for speed or size, but for endurance. Roots that could stay underground without rotting were prioritized. Greens that grew slowly but tolerated frost were favored. The goal was not constant harvest, but continuous access to food, even when nothing appeared to be growing. This mindset alone is one of the biggest lessons modern gardeners can relearn. Frozen ground kills productivity, so medieval farmers worked to delay freezing as long as possible. They built raised ridges and mounds that drained excess water while capturing solar heat during short winter days. Well-drained soil freezes later and thaws earlier. Heavy use of organic matter was critical. Manure, leaf mould, and compost were worked into fields months before winter. As these materials decomposed, they released gentle heat and kept soil biologically active beneath the frost line. Living soil was warmer soil. Medieval farmers did not gamble on fragile plants. They grew what could survive neglect, snow, and low light. Leeks stood tall through frost. Kale sweetened after freezing. Parsnips waited patiently underground, improving in flavour as temperatures dropped. Broad beans were planted early and endured cold springs. Turnips and rutabagas matured quickly and stored well. Many of these crops could survive temperatures far below freezing once established. These weren't backup foods, they were the main plan. Overwintering was a deliberate strategy. Instead of harvesting everything in autumn, medieval farmers left crops in the ground intentionally. Frozen soil acted as a natural refrigerator. Roots like carrots, parsnips and salsify were insulated with straw, leaves or soil mounds. A common method was covering beds with a thick layer of dry straw, often 20 to 30 centimetres deep. This prevented deep freezing and allowed access during brief thaws. The ground beneath stayed workable even when air temperatures dropped well below freezing. This technique alone can, really transform modern winter gardening. Primitive cold frames existed long before modern materials. Farmers used wooden frames angled toward the sun, covered with oiled cloth, animal skins, or later glass. These structures trapped solar heat during the day and slowed heat loss at night. Inside, hardy greens continued growing slowly. Even just a few degrees of protection made the difference between growth and dormancy. These structures were small, efficient, and placed close to living areas for easy access. They weren't luxuries. They were survival tools. Snow was welcomed, not feared. A thick snow layer insulated crops from extreme cold. Fields with snow cover often stayed warmer than exposed ground. Medieval farmers avoided clearing snow from beds unless absolutely necessary. Instead, they protected crops underneath, knowing that snow created a stable microclimate. Harvest timing was strategic. Crops were pulled only when needed. Cellars, pits and clamps were used to store roots at stable temperatures just above freezing. A traditional root clamp involved piling vegetables on straw, covering them with more straw, then sealing with soil. This kept produce fresh for months without spoilage. Temperature and humidity were regulated naturally by the earth. Modern refrigeration replaced this knowledge, but not its effectiveness. Livestock weren't separate from farming. Animals contributed manure that built soil fertility and heat. In some regions, animals were kept near growing areas to shield crops from wind and add warmth. Manure composted in place generated heat that protected soil life. This created warmer microclimates even in freezing conditions. Nothing was wasted. Everything had a purpose. Seeds were saved only from plants that survived winter stress. Over generations, this created land races uniquely adapted to local climates. Modern gardeners often lose this advantage by planting generic varieties bred for uniformity, not resilience. Winter growing doesn't require technology. It requires planning, insulation, and crop choice. Thick mulch, cold-tolerant varieties and strategic timing can extend harvests dramatically. Raise beds warm faster. Organic matter feeds soil microbes that generate heat. Overwintering crops reduce spring workload and increase early harvests. These methods still work because, honestly, nature hasn't changed. Cold was not fought. It was worked with. Medieval farmers didn't aim for abundance every month. They aimed for reliability across the year. That philosophy is more relevant now than ever. If this changed how you think about winter gardening, subscribe to Nature's Blueprint, share this with someone growing in a cold climate, and help revive the timeless wisdom that kept people fed when winters were unforgiving.